April issue of Down East Magazine is now out, and it's going to catch a lot of people's attention because it is the animal issue. Here with us to talk about it, Editor-in-Chief Brian Kevin. You must have had some fun with this one because everybody likes animals.
We had a great time with this one. So it was cover to cover was the idea. Every story we run has to have some connection to Maine wildlife, livestock, domestic animals, and we could do another one tomorrow. There's so many good stories to tell.
Well, let's talk about some of the pieces that are in this issue. We'll begin with a profile of a restaurant in Kittery called Toast, and this was chosen for what reason?
Well, so the whole food and drink section is vegetarian and vegan. No animals were hurt in the making of this food and drink section. So we sent a non-vegan carnivore meat and potatoes senior editor Will Grunewald down to eat at Toast, where a woman named Nina, I'm spacing her last name, runs this lovely vegetarian vegan cafe. It's all plant-based foods, sandwiches mostly, and our carnivorous editor came away favorably impressed.
Impressed with those vegan and vegetarian options.
Really beautiful too, lovely looking plates.
A nice article on Hannah Berta, who is an artist who works with paper as her medium. What's the story here? Hannah
lives in Rockport, and among other things, Hannah makes very fun, whimsical, and attractive paper mache, sort of faux taxidermy. So she calls it friendly taxidermy. Lovely little colorful animals that hang in a number of places, including Primo Restaurant. You might have encountered it if you're up in Rockland, that are just, again, no animals hurt, but look lovely on your wall and are very smiley, sort of Pixar-ish.
Well, but you have a sort of A to Z rundown of all creatures great and small in Maine. We don't have time, obviously, to get to all 26, but let's pick 3. Goats, one of them. G for goats. I had never before heard of goat leasing, but you found places in Maine that do this.
Yeah, and it's kind of on the rise. I talked to some folks from an outfit called Grazing Glory in Farmington, and they are one of a handful, maybe a half a dozen places in the state where you can rent goats, also sheep, other ruminants who will come and handle tricky landscaping problems for you. The fellow I talked to said goats have this amazing thing where, like, the thornier the plant is, the more they want to eat it. It's a popular sort of adaptive land management strategy out west that lately has kind of like been embraced in northern New England.
I did hear that right. You said tricky ruminants, right?
Yes.
Great name for a band, right? Are we agreed on that?
Yeah, have they
Great
played
name
on
for a band?
207?
We're gonna book Tricky Ruminants on 207. H is for hagfish in your list. Hagfish, they need some better PR, Brian. This is a fish that doesn't have a lot of fans.
If you can picture a lamprey, they sort of make a lamprey, talk about Pixar, look like they should be a cute fuzzy animal hanging out with Nemo or something. They are squirmy sea death worms, and among other things, they have this habit or adaptation where when they're stressed, they emit slime. Gallons of slime, large amounts of slime. I'd never heard of these before. Our contributing editor, Ginny Wright, reported a little piece about how there was once a somewhat robust fishery for this creature down east because they're considered to be a delicacy in, I want to say, Korea. And they are still a few folks out there, like just a handful of boats, that are catching these little monsters for research and other weird purposes.
They are the nastiest looking creatures. Let's end with a creature that everyone in Maine adores. That is the moose. And you focused in on a photographer who, in effect, makes his living from moose.
Yeah, Mark Picard, who's a great guy. We've run his images before. I think folks who probably are in the wildlife photography world might recognize his name. Had a nice conversation with Mark about his career, which has been shooting wildlife in general over the last several decades, but very specifically moose. We build him as the man who's probably shot more moose than anyone else in the state of Maine, including our lovely cover this month. And you know, Mark left a career doing detailing for motorcycles, as a matter of fact, to embrace his passion, and moved up to Millinocket with his partner, also a photographer. They run a gallery on Main Street up there, and if you ever a chance to stop in, just like, you think you'd never run out of ways to shoot this amazing creature.
We have all seen a lot of moose photographs taken in Maine, but his cover shot is really one of the most striking that I have ever seen.
He has some interesting things to say about the way the population is changing. Anybody who observes a species that closely for as long as he has some insight, but also just knows how to make a beautiful image.
It's the animal issue, the April issue of Down East Magazine. Brian Kevin, thank you so much. We'll see you next month with your band members from Tricky Ruminants. Stick around, back with more of 207 right after this.